and we're
Yes.
gonna start like in 10, 5. ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué onda? Mi nombre es Jonathan Antonio Martínez Machain desde Tijuana, Baja California, México. Y this is the Didgeridoo podcast. I'm so sorry. This is going to be in English because we have a guest, a very awesome guest from France. If you can say your name because it's a little bit complicated for me. Oh, what is your name?
Yes. My name is Gauthier Aubé.
Gauthier Aubé. Because in Spanish,
Gauthier.
Gauthier Ube. In Spanish, there are a lot of letters over there. It says Gauthier Aubé. So it's very simple. It's Gauthier what again?
Gauthier Aubé. Just two letters. O B.
Ube, just like that. Gauthier Ube.
Yes.
Au,
Yes.
uh,
Quite easy.
Aube. Yes, it's very easy. But in Spanish, if you read that name, is Gautier Aubé. Ube. It's more easier in French. And how you doing?
Yes.
And how are you doing? How are you? How are you
I'm
these
fine.
days?
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So awesome. I
Yeah. Yeah. I'm quite good.
you are very happy because you are saying me days before that you were gonna be dad for the first time.
Yes, I'm going to have a baby in those 2 next weeks. So I don't know when. Maybe it will be during the interview. So we'll need to leave. But for now, it's okay.
It's okay. Yes, these days with babies is so extreme. It's so fun. It's so woo! It's like all the adrenaline. I can say this because I have three. My
Ah,
oldest
yes.
my oldest is 16, then 15, and
Okay.
then 13, and I closed the fabric. No more kids. No more kids.
I close the fabrics. Yes. Yes.
And this is one of the questions that I do to every single player. This is a classic. I'm very curious. It's a very different story with very different people from around the world, and with you. How did you know about didgeridoo, and how did you start to play didgeridoo?
It-
Yeah. Okay.
I hope the connection will be good because in my place it's a little bit lacky. Can I say that?
Lucky.
Quite
Yeah.
sometimes quite difficult to hear the sound, but
Uh,
I think it will be fine.
yes, it's okay. Again, the question: how do you start with didgeridoo?
Yeah, it's quite a very simple story and not very passionate story because it's just my twin brothers. I have a twin brothers who just give me a CD with some didgeridoo in. It was a band from France, and the name was Tjridoo, and and it just gave me the CD and say to me, you should listen and you should. I think you will like the didgeridoo, and so I did it, and I quite like it. And few 1 month ago, I just stopped my study, and so I didn't go. I stopped to go in school, and so nothing. I have only my didgeridoo, and I was living in a little flat in Dijon, the city where I born, and I was working in little work like pizza. I was driving
Mhm.
to just some pizza, and so I started the didgeridoo in December of 2001, and few months after, like 1 or 2, hi, 1 or 2 months after, I just yes, I decided to make it my job. It took a lot of years to do it, but I really decided quite quickly to make the didgeridoo my life.
Awesome, awesome. This is a big. This is a very hard decision to make. Well, for me, it was very difficult. I was like construction in didgeridoo, then the construction in didgeridoo. In that part of the decision was like, fuck it, didgeridoo, boom, man. And now, if I want to go back to work in construction, I will make less, but I mean less money than playing didgeridoo.
Mm.
And you made the I don't know if you ever regret that decision. I guess not, right?
um, yes, no, I never regret it. I just stopped during 2 years between 2011 and 2013. I stopped to play during 2 years. I was very tired about didgeridoo world, and about many things about all this. And so I decided to stop, and it was really great for me to left a little bit all this. And after that I started again, so it was I think it was too much for me, because yes, I need to take a little bit of I don't know the word in English, but I need to take time to see the didgeridoo like beginners again, because I was too much in with. And yes, it was the time for me to just. I remember when I was traveling in India during 6 months, and one time I thought, okay, maybe I can listen some didgeridoo,
Mhm.
and I started to listen some didgeridoo after maybe it was like 1 year stopping playing. And I was listening the didgeridoo, and I thought, wow, that's a very strange sound. That's very, very strange. And I knew at that time that I find it again my beginners listening. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I reset my brain about listening the didgeridoo, and it helps me a lot to do what I did just after.
You had like a burnout of didgeridoo, like a burnout, like fuck it, no more didgeridoo. Fuck you all in make año sabático. ¿Cómo sería el año
Yeah,
sabático? Sí, like
yeah, yeah.
vacations of didgeridoo. ¿Quién tiene ese ruido? ¿Quién tiene ese ruido?
There is a sound. Is that the same for you?
Sí, it was Lalo, I think. And you had like that year
Nice
of
seeing you, Gauthier. Sorry. Hi, guys.
hey, ¿qué onda, Lalo? What's up, Lalo? If you want do a question or anything, commentary, something.
Yes, no. First listen to Gauthier. Nice seeing you again, man. Nice story. I was wondering, you went to India and you heard that in India the didgeridoo sound. You heard it in India. A guy playing.
No, no, I met some digital players in India, but it was not there. It was not that meeting that just I was just listening an album in my, I don't know what kind of device I had at that time, but I was just listening Denradur, an album from Denradur. Is Switzerland digital players. He just stopped now to play in professional way, but he
Wow,
did a Lizard Mystery album with, for me, one of the best didgeridoo album.
Oh, okay,
so awesome.
I really love.
one of
we
your
can check it out.
one of the particular ways of playing is your kind of playing, but I'm very curious about this because like multi drum players. I'm a multi drum player. I'm a like student of William fucking Toren, and and I like the didgeridoos with the first two very close to the drone, so I can use like a kick drum. I play like 16 of the note, and it will be like very punchy. But your playing is way different. So cool, so awesome. How is the perfect didgeridoo for you? for your style, for your work, for your art?
Mm, you mean concrete physically the perfect didgeridoo?
Physically, acoustically, with the tuning, all the in general aspects of the didgeridoo. I'm saying this like a constructor and a player because I do both.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. What I like in the didgeridoo, it's the harmonic sound,
Mm.
all the clear sound, because for me didgeridoo is an harmonic instrument, and so if we reach the good resonances of all the tube, you will get all the high frequencies, so all the harmonics. When I say harmonics, I don't say only harmonics from the tongue or and all this. I say also harmonics from natural harmonics from the tube. And so
Wow.
for me, I saw the didgeridoo sounds like a ball. You have this ball with that's a spheric sound like boom. That's a drone.
Mhm.
Boom. And when you want to have clear sound, you use that ball to have some little I don't know the word in English, but little sounds like this.
Like
We can say
spikes.
that we can call it harmonics.
Mhm.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what I like it's when that sound, that basic drone, it's quite present but not too much. And when the harmonics and all this very soft sound,
Mhm.
what I really practice in my last album, all that very soft sound are very, very rich. I really like that kind of didgeridoo. And so that kind of didge, for me, it's open didge,
Mhm.
like they started like 50 millimeters at the beginning, and it's not too large at the end. So
Okay.
i, I, I found something that's quite interesting. It's if you take the diameters of the the didgeridoo at the beginning, from the mouthpiece,
Mhm.
you take off the mouthpiece.
See.
You take the diameters at the beginning,
See.
like it's 50 for me, average. You take after this the diameters of the bell,
Uh-huh.
and let's say it's 10, 100, and you divide the bells
Mhm.
from the diameters of the mouthpiece, not
See.
the mouthpiece, the beginning of the ditch.
See. See. See.
So if 50 and if it's 100, it will be 2. Okay.
Mhm.
If you say if you do that, for me all the didgeridoo crafter should use that, because it's a big um, yes, it's a very big information. We don't care about the keys. We don't care if it's a F sharp or if it's a D or if it's a low A. We don't care about that. We just have the numbers. If it's below 2, it's a very smooth ditch. Very what I play. Just all this, it's below 2. If it's you are if you are I mean below after this, if it's after 3, it's like Yidaki style,
Mhm.
your style, I guess. Like more multi-drone style and all this. You
Yes.
don't have so much. You will have more bass and like frequencies in the bass, like between 100 and 300 hertz will be quite present.
See.
And so this is up to 3,
Uh-huh.
and between 2 and 3, that's a balance between those extreme. I like below 2. And just you will check on your ditch, just take the beginning of the diameters and the end, the diameters of the beginning of your ditch, the bell, and just divide it, and you will find it's quite easy to have some family ditch. And for beginners and from people who doesn't know, it's quite good numbers to resume it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I had this always. I had this in my mind, and I was telling to some people, but they don't listen to me because they say, "Who is this motherfucker? Who is this piece of shit?" O sea, referring to me because I'm no one. I don't have a big name. But this is everything that you say is like, wow, it have sense, because I always say that it doesn't matter the key. There is no didgeridoo that is going to be difficult to play or hard to play or more easier to play. It's a good didgeridoo. If the didgeridoo is good, it won't matter the key. It will be easy to play because it's a good didgeridoo. And what you explain right now, it was like, it's like, it's ay, mi pinche inglés valió madre. It's like I have this, like, I the same idea, because what do you say about the beginning of the didgeridoo? I call it the neck. The neck of the didgeridoo,
Mm-hmm.
it has to be proportional with the bell. If you say like
Yes.
5 centimeters neck, it's I say to those didgeridoos, fat neck. If it is bigger, like the new Salim, is morbid because it's fatter. But this is fat neck. And the bell has to be proportional to the neck so it can have a equilibrium between the drone, the harmonics. But one thing that I made, I combined this fat neck with the construction of multi-drone didgeridoos. I have made two didgeridoos like that. Fat necks, long bell, 10 centimeters long bell, and bring the first tooth to the interval of the didgeridoo. It was E flat with C sharp trumpet. It was mi bemol, re, do sostenido, three semitones under the octave, under the fundamental octave, and it was very mind blown, that kind of sound, and it was like very interesting. All everything that you said, it confirms my theory. So it's so awesome. I have made some didgeridoos like you said, but I didn't divide in two. I was this close. I always divide in three, because
Mm-hmm.
I have the bell section, the middle section, because in the middle I make like the cone that connects the neck part to the bell part. So it's a big cone. So the bells, it can be like, I will say, a very easy number, 183 6 por 3 18, 180 centimeters. It will be this is free. This is free. If you everyone that you are seeing, this is going to be free. Make this didgeridoo and you will have amazing sound. uh, 60 centimeters of bell, 10 centimeters diameter. In the middle section, 60 centimeters, but it has to be a cone from the bell section to the neck section, and 5 centimeters neck with a mouthpiece, whatever you want. I'm looking to the laptop, but the camera is over here, so I'm and you
Yes,
will
it's
have
me too. And
you will have an awesome didgeridoo. That will be like D or D sharp kind of, and it will sound so awesome. In all this that you say will blow my mind. So I was like this close, and I'm gonna use that, like your formula, in wanna see the results is gonna be so awesome. One thing that I also
yeah,
yes, you want to say something? Yeah.
no, let's go. Let's go. No, it's okay.
I was like very curious about also one thing that it was like very fun. And sadly, I'm in a city of 3 million people, and just like 3 months ago, I was the only didgeridoo player here in Tijuana. Right now, there is two
Mm-hmm.
didgeridoo players, me and other two. Uh, I have 10 years playing. In just 3 months ago, we are like three players, and I don't. Back in the days, I didn't have the chance to play with people but I see in other the rest in Europe, all people playing your game. What is the name of your game for didgeridoo?
What do you mean? The name of the Wakatu game?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a very difficult names. My tongue and my throat is not used to that. What is the name? The name of the game?
Wakatu?
Wakatu. I'm like a perico, like these birds from. I can emulate all the sounds, but if I want to pronounce, it's very difficult. Wakatu. How do you come? How do you make? How do you made this game? How do you came with the idea of Wakatu?
It was in 2008, something like this. I was giving some didgeridoo lesson every week in my city in Dijon. And I had, so every week the same student, and they asked me every time some new rhythm, and I didn't have some ideas to give all the time new rhythm. And I thought, okay, if they can find their own rhythm, it should be really great. So I started to thought about the teacher playing. It's only I don't know if we can say that in English, onomatope. It's French, uh, uh, only to, wa, ti, tu,
In
only very
Spanish.
simple sounds. So if I put each
In,
sound in
mhm.
different cards, it should be possible to write it. So it started there like this, but it was only the beginning, because after that, it's not just the point to understand to I mean, to do that Wakatu card games was the first step, but after this I print some, and so I print like 500 just box, and I sold them during many years quite slowly, because at that time I was not very present in internet and all this, and um, and many digital players told me, yes, that's good, but I don't know how to play it. How can I write some rhythm just with some cards? And so um, it took me 20 years to understand really how to play it and, and how to organize it, because you have to understand rhythm, and you have to understand didgeridoo rhythm. And I really realized how to understand digital rhythm only when COVID came, and only during the first lockdown, I had time in my house, and I started to play every day a rhythm. Because of that lockdown, I wanted to share just one minute of didgeridoo every day. And I started it, and I was playing, and I was playing, and I was sharing. And one time, a guy on Facebook told me, "Oh, that's nice, but you are doing all the time the same rhythm." And I was a bit upset, and I thought, "What?" and
It's
and I
Max away.
started to analyze my rhythm. So it was not exactly the truth. I was not playing all the time the same rhythm, but I had some habits, and so I started to try to understand the rhythm.
Hmm.
And after 1 or 2 years trying to really look after that, I starting to understand more rhythm, and yes, so now I'm starting to print again a Wakatu card game, but I guess you need to learn how to write rhythm. I mean, Wakatu is fine. That's a very uh, easy way to put some card and try to listen. But if you want to go deeper, you need to learn all the laws of didgeridoo. It's what really what I like to find. I don't like to find rules.
Hmm.
Rules can change the rules. You can, yes, for that way you can play rules to play wobble. You have rules, but if you want to play beatbox, you have rules. To play drop octave, you have rules. But if you want to understand all the law of Didgeridoo. I mean that the law who explain all the style and all this, it's a big job. And it's what I try to do since 20 years now. And
Ye-
Wakatu is one little part of all that job.
yes, in you say it at first, onomatopeia. It's the same thing in Spanish, onomatopeia. It's the same. Will be like, I don't like to use phrases or syllables to make a rhythm because it's very different between languages. Like I had this chat with Angenstein. That those names. His name is Manuel also with Meño from
Yes.
from Germany, and we had this same thought that it's very different between languages. This is why for me it's hard to play traditional because I don't understand the language of Yonglu. And but the cool part of Wakatu is that it's onomatopeia. Because we have this word in Spanish. I don't know if you can say it, Lalo. Or this is going to be
Yeah.
a challenge for you. Parangaracutirimícuaro. In this,
In Spanish, parangaraturi. No, it's complicated. It's complicated. That's a tongue twister, no? Yeah, it's hard, man. But yeah, that's the way it works. Yeah, yo, go ahead. I'm listening to you, man.
parangaracutirimícuaro. And if you can play this in the Didgeridoo, it's a awesome rhythm. Parangaracutirimícuaro. This is a place in Michoacán. In Michoacán state, it's like a village, like a little town. Parangaracutirimícuaro. And if you can do it, it's gonna be like taran taran ta tara ta tara 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 tara, and then you can add the toots. And then you can do whatever you want, and this is like onomatopeia on the like this is an idea for Wakatu. Bring words from around the world in different languages. It will be like a plus. So awesome.
Yes, but if you listen didgeridoo players from all over the world, you can resume all the didgeridoo style in few onomatopoeia.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have traditional playing. We don't speak about traditional. I don't speak about it because I don't know it too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I have too much respect to say some shitty things because or some bad wrong things. I mean,
Yes.
in traditional way.
Yeah.
I mean, I will not have deep understanding to speak about that. So I forget about traditional playing,
Mm-hmm.
and I will speak on about contemporary playing. Um, if you listen all contemporary playing, it's quite easy to resume all everything in few onomatopoeia, and it's even if we don't speak the same language, you can write all the rhythm in a very universal way. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for only speaking about French style. I'm really looking for about writing about everything. But because what we are speaking about tongue movement,
Mm-hmm.
lips movement. I mean, 99% of didgeridoo playing is tongue movement. So we are speaking about tongue movement. We thought about jaw movement, we thought about cheeks movement, about throat, but it's only tongue movement most of the time. Even for circular breathing, we don't use that kind. I mean, everybody thinks they use cheeks for circular breathing, but it's only tongue. And so because we are using the same movement of the tongue, we can write it quite the same way. I mean, toe, it's just the tongue with going on the teeth and go back. to. That's a movement. And in every language, if we does that kind of movement, it will be to, to. So we can write it to. And after this, we have different tongue attacks and all this. And if you understand really deeply the didgeridoo techniques, it's quite easy to make it simple and to make it universal and accessible, even if you speak many different languages. That's really all my life is dedicated to that, to understand the big law of playing and how you can share all that, how you find a way to share all that. And all my work, it's not really um, in English. I didn't start yet to speak a lot of to translate all my courses in English. I stopped to give didgeridoo workshop in Europe and all this, and so it's more in French now. I'm starting to translate all this in English, but yes, that's my point of view.
Yes, it's okay because we are a lot of this English is it's like everyone knows English in every part of the world. So not everyone, but most of the people in another languages
Yeah,
countries we speak English. Like here in Mexico, I speak English. Eduardo Castillo from Mexico City, like 2,000 kilometers away from the border, he speaks English. So there is no problem. And there is a lot of people in Central and South America that also speak English. And
yeah.
uh, tell me about how many and how yes, how many CDs, albums do you have so the people can know. This is the idea of the podcast was more to introduce the world of didgeridoo to Latin America and all the players over here in Latam. But it's making to because YouTube is like worldwide, so everybody in the world know about your carrera, your
Yeah, I know. Carrière, yes.
yeah. How many and where we can find your music?
Okay, I did only three albums, and the two first are not really good. They are just study. For me, it's just work study. It's quite fun, but it's not really good. But I have this last one.
Yeah.
I just finished it in December. I just released it in December. It calls L'Envol, the in-flight, I guess, in English, or something like this. I mean, when you start to fly.
Mm.
And that one, um, I really proud of that one, and not of the two first one. So yeah, yes, that. Yes, but
It's a good one,
because
man.
so
It's a
so
very good one.
so all the music you can find it, of course, in all the streaming platform and all this Spotify and all this YouTube. You can also buy it in my website gauthierAubé.com to help me, because it's quite expensive to do that. But what is important for me to say, it's my two first album was just some work who is like you are a student, and your professor asks you, your teacher asks you to write something after 3 years of studying. So I don't know the word in English, but it's like this. My two first album are like this. It's just some
Say,
some nice some nice work, but not really good. But that one, it took me 20 years to do my first album that I like.
wait, no man. And I was like,
That,
huh?
I think
yeah,
that
that one.
happens. Sorry, man.
Yeah,
I think that happens a lot on there because what you're saying, man, is like most of the musicians. I think they will agree with you, man, because most of musicians don't like their own sound for lots of years, maybe. Because it's always like you're always like developing new techniques and trying to better your technique and be better, and it's okay to be like that. But I think doing the work like Matias Tolo said from Argentina,
Mm.
that guy, he also is a very good player. He wants to record every single ditch player he can, help us to record also, because as you said, it's very expensive to record. But the important thing is to do it, to record, to get something on a CD, on the electronic platforms like Jonathan, like any other many other guys. So I think that work, it's valuable for that. And for me, man, it's a very good CD, man. It's a very nice one. I heard it, I listened to it, and I remember also the things you said about harmonics, man. You like playing that. That's yourself playing, and it's very rich, powerful kind of playing, and you have influenced lots of people throughout the world, man. And we thank you for that. But and I
Thank
also
you.
saw your new video with the oud and Ditch playing. Very nice one. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Thanks. Thanks. And just just to explain a little bit more why I say that about my two first album and why I really like that one.
Mhm.
I mean, that one I can listen it. It's fine. Even if I work on it during 1 year and more than 1 year, it's okay. I'm happy to listen one of that tracks because during the two first album, I didn't understand yet how didgeridoo rhythm works. I mean, when I say that, it's really in a deeply understanding. I really, because in didgeridoo playing, we have like seven circular breathing techniques, quite like seven. Like jaw breathing, people call jaw breathing, but doesn't exist. But anyway, we will say jaw breathing, cheeks breathing, tongue breathing. All the time, it's, for me, in my point of view, it's only tongue breathing, but I'm not going to speak about that. But if we speak about those seven circular breathing, we have, because of the movement of the breathing, we have different tongue attacks or different sound with link with each circular breathing. And to understand how each of those seven kind of circular breathing works with rhythm, it took me a lot of time, like 20 years. And because I understood that in my point of view, I was more able to write rhythms and to to find some good rhythms with that patterns and all this. And also, it took me a lot of time also to understand how to mix the didgeridoo and how to find a good balance between the didgeridoo and the musical instruments who just play with me.
Mm.
And because we don't have so much example of that, it was very long. So it's not because I didn't like what my techniques or how I was playing in 2007 when I did the first one, or in 2015, because technically sometimes I thought, wow, I was quite good. I don't know if I can play it again at that time, but it's that I don't like so much the composition, because I didn't understand the rhythm of, I mean, deeply, and I don't like also how it's mixed with the other instruments. And in that last album, it took me quite a lot of time to understand. But for me, I just start the music with that one. For me, I was searching during 20 years in the didgeridoo techniques to understand, and now I start and now I start really music. And for me, my musical career and my musical artist life is just starting with that one. It's the first one, it's the beginning for me, because before it was just studying. I was student,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
understand?
Yes. It's like I have a EP in Bandcamp, and I listened to that, and I'm also like you, like it's okay, but no, like kind of crappy. In right now that I'm doing a lot of busking, I have a lot of practice, more practice, and I want to make something like it's the same with you. Like back in the years, you like you said, you don't understand how to make the rhythms, how to understand rhythm on didgeridoo, but now with all this experience that you have, now you said, "This is my baby. This is what I wanted all the time. This is the awesome thing." And yeah, we're gonna have Gauthier for a long time, right?
Yes, I guess, yes.
Yeah, so awesome. And hopefully, in the future, we can have you over here in Mexico. You need to
Yeah,
taste some tacos with mezcal and pulque. And do you eat meat?
yes, yes.
Una carnita asada. Yeah, huevo. Because we have to do a carnita asada with tacos. Las quesadillas llevan queso. With quesadillas
I
and
would be very happy to come.
yeah.
Yes. My my plan before I thought I was going to be dad. My plan was to come with my girlfriend in Mexico just to teach didgeridoo and just to visit a little bit. But now I'm going to have this little girl, so I'm going to wait a bit.
yeah. You have,
But I will be very happy. Yes,
it
of
will
course.
be
Congratulations.
so it will be so interesting to have you over here in Mexico, and I mean Mexico City, because if you come to the north, it will be like nonsense because we are just three didgeridoo players, but in Mexico City, Eduardo Castillo can say it. There are more than thousand. Can be more than thousand, and every day there are more DJ players and more DJ players. Like just my last three sales of didgeridoos in December was like three new didgeridoo players that never played a didgeridoo in their life. So my
Mm.
didgeridoo was the first in to play. So every single day there are more and more didgeridoo players over there in the south of Mexico. Uh, and
It's kind of growing. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Little bit. It's a little community still, but yeah, it's growing.
or if you
Yeah,
want to
that's cool.
go or you want to go more to the south, the biggest communities of didgeridoo is Chile and Argentina. Over there they can be like
Mm.
combined, like I can say 7,000 didgeridoo players over there.
Mm. Mm.
And the
Okay.
advantage in the advantage of Argentina and Chile, you have euros. It will be like pesos, and euros is like woo. You have euros, you're gonna be like a king over there, because with a little bit amount of money, you can do a lot of things over there. So it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna
It
be
would be
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
I would be very happy for that. I just have my how you say ecologist. Can I say that? My ecologist mind,
Hmm.
who just told me, you are going to take the plane again, and so
Ah, okay, yeah.
because I'm quite I'm quite yes, like everybody, very sad for what we were doing
Hmm.
with that planet. So but okay, this is for my job, so I would be very happy to come one time. It
Yeah,
would be
one time
fine. It would
over
be
here
so
in
great.
Latam, yes, it's gonna be so so awesome. Eh,
Yeah, we can check it out, man. It would be awesome.
algunas últimas palabras, Lalo, for Gutier.
Oh, it's nice seeing you, man. Nice listening to you and hearing that you're having a baby, I believe. So, congratulations for that and good life. Keep on ditching, man, on digging. Keep on playing, inspiring people, man. Like many other people, like Jonathan, he also keeps on playing on the streets and the Tijuana zone, Baja California, very nice. And Thank you, Gauthier, for the lessons, man. When I met you back with Lise, it's a nice memories also sharing digi players, digi playing, and
Yeah, yeah.
I really like your method also, man. Your Academy. I believe it's online also. Um, if any other players see this, it will be a very useful tool for you to check it out. The Gauthier method, the Academy,
Hmm.
and all his music. It's a really nice music also. Um, nice seeing you, man.
Thank you.
Big hug,
Thank you
and
very much. Yes,
you're always welcome, man, in
I
Mexico.
I
thank
forgot I
you.
forgot that I forgot that, and I had it in mind when I made the question about the game Wakademi. Tell us about that.
Wakademy, it's my online didgeridoo school, and I just started a few years ago, but in French, because I was quite lazy with English. I have to say that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because in French, yes. I'm quite bad in communication in English, but I start, and so Academy, it's my school where people can take some workshop. I organize workshop in France, Switzerland, and Belgium. Sometimes outside, but just a little bit because I like to just teach not too far. But I will come in Mexico for sure, and there is the online courses lesson. I just started to turn it in English. So this year I will launch. I don't know how to say. I
Hmm.
will start online courses in English. So
Hmm.
I'm very happy to start this. And you can find Wakatu online, so you can play with the card, put play, and just listen the rhythm. And yes, and I have my blog and YouTube where I try to give some advice and all that. So I'm going to translate all this in English. So yes, that's a big job, and that's the biggest part of my job. I really like to teach and
Hope,
to share some knowledge.
hopefully in the future I'm not like very every day I'm studying French, but I want to learn French. In the future, I can help you to translate to Spanish because there is a big community in Latin America that there are a lot of Dutch players that don't speak English, don't speak French, and just
Yeah,
Spanish.
yeah,
So it will be so useful over here in Latam in the future.
yeah. It will be really great. Yes, I will be happy about that.
Yeah. My name is Jonathan Antonio Martinez Machain, Eduardo Castillo, and Gutier. Again, what? Gutier.
Aubé,
Ube.
Gauthier Aubé,
Gutier Ube from
Gauthier
France.
Aubé.
Gutier Ube. Eh, bye.